like, lower cacao, I like.
I like higher cacao.
That's what I said. Like, higher
Yeah.
cacao. Yeah, well, we also have these, and they're labeled. And one, two, there's like 7 of them in here. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 in here, and 5 of the 7 are at 70, and one of them is at 60, and one is at 66. So I'm going to start at the 60 side, and you can start wherever you want.
Well, I think that's fine. And we'll do that tonight on the lounge, live from the lounge. Welcome to the lounge.
Hello.
This is a place
How are you?
where myself and him
Me,
go out of our way to indulge
in bad and good.
in just whatever, man.
Yes.
And we hope that you do too.
How do you list this? Nope, I can't see.
How do you
Nobody
mean?
can see it. Is this good or bad?
I'd say mostly bad,
Really?
but I think everything in moderation.
Okay, even the bad.
Hell yeah.
How about these? What do you think of these?
Lightly salted, better than most,
Yes.
but still not great. You know?
What is great?
Or
What
this
would be
stack of chocolate.
What-
Great would be snacking on like celery or a small amount of cheese and bread.
I think I would just put my fist through the wall.
Well, that's why those things aren't the
Hello,
most popular.
Would you come here? Would you come here? Setzen Sie sich neben mir.
We have a
Bitte.
guest. Mouse, go.
Come on.
Mouse, get up.
Siéntate aquí.
Yeah. Oh, he looked like he was preparing for it for a minute and then he stopped.
I'm telling you, the dog does not know come. It does, especially does not know come.
I think that you don't have a gateway with the dog.
What the hell does that? Nope.
And your wife agrees.
Oh, what are you? One of the little nasty robots who sits in the corner?
The peanut gallery.
You're the peanut gallery, right? No, you either get to be on or not. You have to do nothing.
It's true. It's also her house.
The little nasty robots. Yeah. Think of
What
yourself.
are you referring to in particular?
Mystery Science 3000.
Oh,
That's
Mystery
what I-
Science Theater, fantastic. Mr. Well, that's Crow.
I don't remember their names.
Crow is the gold one, and then the other one is I always forget the other one's name.
They're a gold. I always think of them as shadows, silhouettes.
Well, you see them though when they're not in the sequence where they're watching the movies. They do like sketches in between, and it's
Who knew?
it's Crow, and I think it's Mr. something. I can't
Okay.
fucking remember. Anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How
Yeah.
are you today?
I'm all right.
You know,
Whatever.
I'm 90%, as I said.
Yes, 90% recovered.
90% recovered.
Last time we talked about him being in some pretty serious pain.
Yeah, well, February was that awful month.
Just a garbage month.
Just what was it? COVID,
Mhm.
and then and other bad stuff. And then hurting my back very badly, and
Things you don't want to be
However,
involved in.
I got acupuncture.
Was that your first time getting acupuncture?
No, I've had acupuncture many, many times, and I don't know why. 'Cause
Has it ever made a considerable difference on you?
considerable? Absolutely never.
Okay. And
But
yet you continue to go back.
well, I was literally talking with the acupuncturist
Mm.
about the placebo effect.
Aha.
So that's entirely possible, right?
It is.
If you want to believe that this helps, then it has more of a likelihood that it will help than not.
Right.
Um,
It's all in the mind.
and I do believe that there are, if you'll excuse the vague expression, energy pathways.
Sure.
Everything is kind of energy and everything is matter. And if you stick somebody, the body has some kind of a reaction to it. That reaction, well, if done poorly, is ouch, get away from me.
Right.
Right. But if done not poorly, it brings heat to the area, it
Yeah.
brings awareness to the area, it brings so
I actually have a perfect perspective on this
tell me.
because I do tattoos for a living. And I work in therapeutic needlework.
Son of a bitch.
Just about. It's a little bit different than
It's a different kind of
acupuncture.
therapy,
It's a different kind of
but
different
you are
kind of
making
therapy.
people feel good.
I'm making people feel good in the process of hurting them with needles.
Okay.
And that's really all it is. I did a face tattoo this week. My first face tattoo ever I did earlier this week.
Really?
Side of the face, sideburn
Okay.
area.
Was it difficult for the recipient?
No. And that's kind of my point, because they said, I'm going to come back here for all my tattoos now because this was the most comfortable experience I've ever had. And I think a lot of that goes into delivery and the
what do you mean?
environment that you create for them.
Okay.
Like I'm not like oh, that's the tattoo you want? Cool, sit down, I'll do it right now. It's like, okay, great. Why do you want it there? And like, are you open to any other spots? And
Oh.
like inquiring about them a little bit and getting to know them a
Show them
touch.
concern.
Show them concern, consideration,
That's cool.
respect.
Okay. My acupuncturist
Yeah.
has a room. In the room, there's playing. Uh, what do they call this kind of music these days? New age.
New age music.
A lot of gentle guitar, which I appreciate. A lot of excellent piano.
Any sitar?
No sitar
Oh,
whatsoever.
I've been
No,
so
no.
down with sitar music.
You like
lately.
it? You like
Oh,
Ravi? You like
meow,
Ravi?
meow, meow. Things
I'm
like that.
Ravi, but he's the only sitar player I know,
Yeah.
other than one of the Beatles, I think.
George Harrison was a yeah. I think learned under maybe that guy that you're talking
It's
about.
got to be a
Robbie.
wonderful instrument, and I'd love to try it.
It is beautiful. I've heard it used in other bands
Oh,
that I've really enjoyed it. There's a band called Babe Rainbow, Australian psychedelic rock band, and they're
are they any good musically?
very very good. They're friends with King Gizzard, who we
Okay.
both like very much.
We both like.
And even King Gizzard has used sitar in some of their music. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember hearing it, but I believe you. You have
I have
an
an
honest face.
extensive knowledge of that particular brand of music.
That's
There's also another one band that no longer is together anymore, but while they were around, made a big splash in that arena. Kika Gaku Moyo is their name.
I love that name.
It's awesome. They were I'm pretty sure a Japanese group, Japan based, and they made very psychedelic, very heady music. They call it, where it's just like kind of get you thinking.
Okay.
And most of, if not all of, their lyrics were not real words in any language, which is awesome. They would just essentially scat almost, like just
I
make
understand.
up,
Made up sounds.
right, make up vocalized sounds.
I used to do that. I used to just grab bunches of sounds, put them together, and just to see what it might. Would you like to hear
Certainly,
5 seconds?
sure.
Nenakne Chamberlain quo say me say member say do re mi fo. He had a banana, he had a machine. Understands das, you know what I mean? Jana do explain. Gramercy Park, you get to know better, you get to know more.
Exactly. So that sounds like you're reading Kikagaku Moyo lyrics.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's
horrible.
They're word adjacent sounds. It's language
It's
adjacent.
almost language.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's very adjacent to language, and they use that as their stuff. So it's interesting because I could listen to it and still focus on something because words aren't separating my attention to anything else.
Okay, yeah.
Especially since they are not associated with any real language. So it's really nice.
I remember asking you at some time in the past, do you prefer music with or without lyrics?
I think it depends on the mood.
Okay.
It totally depends on the mood. I will say lately, it's either something without music while I'm focusing on something.
Right. There is a difference. That difference.
Right. Or
you
if
know,
I'm
level of attention.
Yeah, if I'm doing something that doesn't require so much of my like focus and hardcore attention. That scared me.
Scared me too.
And yet Mouse is completely unharmed.
He's on duty.
If it's
He's
something
in
that
kill mode.
doesn't require my like focused attention, I
Mm.
love something with so much wordage that
Okay.
I could hardly focus on anything else besides like it's like speed reading a book. Like
Yeah.
I listened to some hip hop art, like MF Doom. I've been listening to
Okay.
a rapper who has since passed away. His name was MF Doom, and
How did he pass away?
blood pressure.
Oh.
He had he was very overweight, and from what I understand, he got on a medication that like
Killed him.
basically like contributed to like heart failure almost.
Okay.
But anyway,
It's one way to get him out of the contract.
he knew how to put words together. He just
Very
knew.
important.
He just knew. And
Very
he would do
important.
some very impressive poetic tricks.
Hmm.
And the content, the nature of his music, for the most part, the majority of the nature of his music was very lighthearted. And I
Okay.
love that. You know, it wasn't like comedy music per se, but
Mhm.
there would be really like quirky, stinging lines in the middle of a pretty long
This is why I like what's the guy's name who did 8 Mile? You know,
Eminem.
Eminem. This is
Sure.
why I like him. Is it's not mute. I don't know. It's not melodic in any way,
No, yeah,
but
it's not meant to be.
something.
Yeah.
It's something that's shockingly poetic.
Mhm. Yeah.
Gets me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I have a feeling that it's no longer cool to talk about Eminem because he's so past.
He's not
So past.
he's really not in the public eye as much anymore.
right.
I feel like he has been there has been a replacement for what this
For that,
for this generation's culture, pop culture,
okay.
to gaze upon and be
Okay.
like, look at this white guy
Okay.
doing the hip hop thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's a few.
I've
say.
heard. You know, you've given me a number of them, and some
Yeah.
of them I saved because they're
Some of them are good.
tremendous.
Some of them are good.
I wanted to ask you. Wait, back to just a short,
Go ahead, please.
a short time. Right, but we're going to hear. Um, did you happen to hear when you're hearing sitar music, an accompanying instrument called a tabla?
I don't know it by name.
Okay. There's something. Ravi Shankar had a sideman
Uh-huh.
who played you're a drummer. You would.
Oh, it's percussive.
It's percussive,
Okay.
and it's very, very intricate. What
Is it
he's
that
playing.
thing that's kind of bongo-esque?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because I could picture it.
He would always introduce the guy. He would say, "And now, you are very happy to hear Gustav Anadaka."
I like
And I
that.
could never get the what the fuck is he saying?
Right.
Gustav Anadaka.
I love the things that don't translate to kind of Western English
Yeah.
the way that we're used to and sound so much better. Like instead of like please welcome, it's you are happy to hear.
You are happy to hear.
Like it's almost the equivalent of like going on stage and be like, and now you're gonna fucking love this guy. You know what I mean?
Now, why doesn't anybody say that?
I think
That-
they should.
they should.
I think it should be. It's that kindness that doesn't come with Western English.
I imagine it would be like the same as a newscaster doing one of those network things. And finally, after hearing
It's
something like,
lawyery.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It's kind of
You
lawyerish.
said that, now the news.
Right. It brings you back to marketing, like we were talking about just before the show started, like lying, and or even just withholding,
Salesmanship and marketing.
right? Just withholding the exact truth.
Oh yeah, or a portion of the truth.
Right, dancing around the actual truth.
I have a friend who is all about context, and he jumps on those things that essentially are sound bites because there's some truth component in them.
Yeah.
But you have to look further.
Mhm.
You have to look further. And half truth is half truth truth?
Half.
Hard question. Half.
Yeah.
Smack.
Somewhat. What would you
Half
say?
Well,
Is half truth truth?
is half alive alive? Yes, unquestionably.
Right.
Unquestionably.
And
When does
so-
alive become dead? When everything in it is dead.
Right, when it's a full lie.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that you kind of organically answering the question out loud to me?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean,
Like you didn't have an answer when I asked you.
I did. No.
So you were just formulating your
I'm
own.
asking. I'm going to ask more like
I
that.
get that. Listen, I wish you would. I totally wish you would. I want to talk about this chocolate real quick that you've given to me.
Have a piece.
Okay.
Have a piece.
This is
Have a piece.
Sao Tome.
Okay. Is that what that's? I thought it
Is
was
that
from
what you say?
I thought it was from a.
Trader Joe's?
Let me see this piece of chocolate.
You'd be right either way.
It says
Peru.
Yeah, that's. I was expecting a country.
This says Peru.
Oh, this does say Sao Tome. What the hell is that?
I don't know where that is.
That makes more sense.
I'm happy to
Peru.
learn about it though.
Peru,
Let's
have a
see.
piece of each.
Sao.
I think you should do a chocolate comparison.
Well, I was gonna say I would hope that we could each take a bite of the two most and least cacao. I mean, it's a 10%
I don't
difference.
want the most cacao.
You don't want it at all.
I don't want it. I've had it before. I don't like it.
Well, let's see where
It's
this is from.
It's too. Clearly, it's considered more healthy because it's bitter.
It's an island off the continent of Africa. So thanks,
I
Africa.
can now say that I know something that I didn't know yesterday.
It's called a chocolate passport. See, this is good marketing because they could be totally lying about where this comes from.
Everything could be a total lie.
And
Have a
I'm
piece
interested.
of 62.
Okay.
Jacqueline, would you like the dark? I know.
you like a
there's
piece of that one?
whole one in the refrigerator too. You can.
This is 60% cacao.
Oh, I think that's what I. You got one, and I got the other.
This is fine.
What did I get?
You got the 60.
Oh, okay.
That's what you got.
Uh-huh. I did. Listen to me when I say this, please. You see the number that are in there.
Mhm.
One was missing when we started.
What was it, like 10?
It was like 79 or 80 or something.
Wow.
I tried.
All right. I
Huh?
tried it. It's definitely noticeably bitter, the 60.
It is.
Now I'm going to try the 70.
Even this is bitter. And as you progress up the scale, it becomes more bitter. Don't get me wrong, I don't spit it out. I wouldn't spit it out. It's chocolate. But I grew up on the cheap shit processed.
I didn't even get any bitterness. I'm not even kidding you, man. This
You get no bitterness on the 60.
on the 70.
Oh,
On the 60, I got bitterness. On this, literally nothing.
I'll have to try a piece. I'll force
I think try a piece.
myself. Oh,
Like, especially right after you ate that one,
okay.
try a piece of this. It tastes so much more mellow to me. It could be one of those things, though, where
You asked me if I was hungry.
when I eat cilantro, I taste an herb. I don't taste soap.
Okay.
Some people taste soap when they have cilantro.
You can use cilantro as soap.
Maybe.
Makes a foam.
What do you think?
It's definitely different.
It's definitely different, but I'm not getting hit with that bitterness as much with this higher one.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was all a sham? It was all just
Marketing.
marketing, right? Yeah.
I would love to say that next time I call somebody out for lying to me. You're marketing me right now.
Right. You are marketing me.
You're running an
You're
ad.
trying to market me in the behind.
Yeah. This guy fucking marketed.
I agree.
Weird.
I agree. This is not.
I wonder what it would have been like if we had the 70 first and then the 60.
Well,
But again, it's only a 10%
there's no
difference.
effect. There's no particular bitterness effect.
That's what
But
I
I
think.
might be in your. I don't know. It's like,
Maybe I'm doing the acupuncture thing to you right now.
man, you're
I've
conning
created,
me.
I've
You're
created an environment where you will believe what I say, just because I said
I
it.
didn't finish the description of the acupuncture.
So please,
Okay, so this is a place all covered with towels.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
just for you. And this music is going, and there's not a dish of incense or anything, but there's a smell that would indicate you're in a different place.
right, yeah,
You're in a different place.
you're
Now,
transported.
try to let yourself be in this place.
Mhm.
And over the walls, there are all kinds of tiny little tchotchkes,
Yeah,
you know?
very, very similar to being in a tattoo shop.
See that? And
Very
there's
seriously.
indirect lighting. You probably need a lot of lighting.
Concentrated. I mean, the lighting in the shop itself could be whatever you want, but when I tattoo, I use a lamp
Okay.
so that I
makes sense.
can control and navigate specific lighting to help me do what I'm doing. Some people
Mhm.
even wear a headlamp to make it even more concentrated. So as they're looking at it, it lights up.
Okay, so may I explore a direction of this?
Yeah.
Of this similarity, acupuncture and
Tattooing. Sure.
tattooing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, um, when I think of it I try to analyze it, the only thing that comes to mind right away is there's an S&M component to it.
Oh yeah. I think.
I mean, just that you're getting some pleasure and it's connected with some pain.
I think they can.
That's
They can be. I don't know that I would say it's necessarily, and I don't think you're saying this either. But I think it's more of a self to self, like giving yourself that pleasure kind of thing of
yes, indeed.
like as
Yes,
opposed to I'm gonna go get a massage from someone and I hope they're hot. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this because I want someone touching me. It's like, no, I'm doing this and the only way for it to be done correctly is if another person does it. But I'm doing it for me and it doesn't matter who it is. And I think that relates a lot to massages. I think that relates a lot to therapy and tattooing and all these different things, getting your nails done.
getting in it. Well, it's
Getting your
we
hair
all
done.
desperately need attention.
Right.
Tattooing is a very focused form of attention.
Yeah, it's those kinds of things fall into a category of self-care
Self-care.
that I think requires another person to assist you most often. You could do your own nails, you could do your own hair, you can give yourself your own tattoo, but like getting it done from somebody else and getting their human touch on it
It's very important.
is really important. And
It's adding something.
yes, it adds
To
a specific element that you can't get from something either lifeless.
and that you need
Yeah,
attention, right?
I think you need it. So when it comes to things like AI and like robots taking over certain jobs, et cetera, I
Right.
think there are certain things that cannot be replaced, and they fall under this category that we're discussing.
Okay, but how do you address the idea that individually the senses can be quantified and almost enhanced once the details of the sense? For example, I'm going to say this. I've seen robots whose hands look like this. They are perfectly
Human
there I
and
am.
fluid.
They
yeah.
are fluid
right.
this way.
Huh?
Now that's shocking because
Sure.
that's supposed to be only on CGI.
right.
But I've seen robots not robots, AIs,
Yeah.
whose control of facial muscles
Mhm.
disturbed me.
Sure.
You
Very
know what I mean?
uncanny,
Then
yes.
you've seen it too.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course. It tricks my grandmother all the time because she's losing her sight a little bit,
Okay.
and she sees things like this on her phone, and she'll get fooled. And that's
Okay.
that's where a lot of the scam usage of stuff like this, like calling people that you know are elderly on FaceTime and using their grandson's AI version of their face
God,
to trick you.
don't
into
say
something.
this out loud.
it's been
There's enough
happening already.
Fucking
It's
psychopaths trying to steal shit
it's
now.
been around already, and it's really unfortunate. And it happens. I know people who have given into the scams online that make you think you're buying something, and it's actually just giving money to someone.
Do
like,
you know something? I am collecting a list of things related to that. Only they're mostly computer scams.
okay,
But because it's important. If I have them and I know them, it's important that the people my age and younger know them.
yeah. Have you ever fallen victim to something like that?
No, our household has.
Ah, got it. It's all too common, unfortunately.
It's extremely well constructed. These
Yeah.
scams.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage, and people ain't too damn bright to start with. Most of us are.
I've
really-
definitely been hit. I've been gotten before. Certainly.
But I know people who have really, really gotten hit.
Yeah.
I mean, $40,000-$50,000 type of hit.
That's no small amount.
And
It's nothing.
which is why I shall have to do this because I haven't seen it myself
Right.
on the net. I shall have to be the old people's
The shepherd.
You know,
You are the savior.
educator.
Yeah.
The educator.
Right,
Hello.
for sure.
Come here.
Yeah. Not
There you
quite on
go.
camera, but we
Sh-
know he's there.
That's okay.
Hell yeah.
There's his tail.
What's
See? There's his tail. You can see the tail. Yes,
What's
this
one of
is
these?
me doing something terribly lewd on the camera. It's not really his tail.
It's Fozzie Bear.
It's Fozzie Bear.
What's one of these things you want to talk about here, man?
Oh, I don't know.
You got a lot of stuff that looks
I
like
had
it
a
was
whole lot
written
of-
backwards,
Let me. Yeah. Well.
or maybe I'm just getting. I'm
Let
losing my sight.
let me see. Fear.
Give me the first thing
Okay.
that you have an idea for when you look at that list.
I have a complaint.
What's the complaint?
The stock market is going down and prices are going up.
I
which
don't know
makes-
anything about that.
I don't either.
Great, let's move on.
I know this much, and so do you. It's bad.
It's not great. It sounds bad.
Okay.
All
well,
those words sound bad.
We're moving on.
All right.
I also wanted to praise the small aspect of the AI world.
Oh,
Okay, and that's because these days when I go and search, I Google something or whatever,
yeah.
there's an AI front end that they've put on that essentially assesses the data from several different areas and presents it to you. And this is the important part.
Yeah.
Right away, I ask it a question, it answers the question, and then it goes through all the fucking sponsored things that you have to scroll through because they've paid for it.
Are you talking about when you Google something?
Google
and it gives
something
you
and
the
it says AI,
overview?
blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's always a direct, intelligible answer.
I saw something
It's amazing.
online. I saw something
Yay,
online
to-
that if you ever get fed up with it, you can bypass it
All right.
by putting a cuss word in your search.
And they prohibit. Yeah, I know.
And it completely dodges it, and then you just get normal Google search results. But yes, I agree. More often than not, the AI overview of your day-to-day mundane Google searching is
Yeah, it's
perfectly fine.
Give me a list. Give me an alphabetical list of something.
Right.
Give me a most or a least of something.
It's
That's
good.
what you ask.
It's good for what it does, which is streamlining otherwise complicated or arduous tasks done by the internet. And I think for certain things that's cool.
Done by the internet.
Like having a search engine automatically organize its words into what they think will be the most
yeah,
satisfactory.
Could be terribly
result
misleading
for you.
sometimes.
Right.
But most of the time, it's
pretty
human.
good.
It is human error
Right.
that
right.
makes it go caca.
Well, it's a human-made thing
a
anyway.
human-made
You know what I mean? Like even though it seems like it's smarter than us at times, it's just because we can't think of everything at once.
I wanted to go back just for a second. We were talking about
Sitar
senses.
music.
We're
Oh,
talking about a lot of
senses, yeah.
things, but senses. And then I went on a rant about how far technology has come so far.
Yeah.
And individually, the senses can be. That's where we diverted from someplace.
Sure.
The senses could be well understood and manipulated
Mhm.
individually.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, and you can you can make this feel even better,
Right.
that
Right.
or get a frisson on skin feeling.
Mm.
Don't
What's
you
the-
see that? Don't you see that? Well, that's one question. Is what the fuck is reality at that point?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the point of going anywhere else?
I know, maybe, yeah.
But I think the point. Well, what was your actual question? Where does it
I
end?
was contending with the idea that you said there are some jobs that simply cannot be done by technology. And
Right.
That's where we were. That's where we were.
Yeah,
right?
totally. I think that kind of answers the question. You almost like what is it, Jeopardy, where the question comes second?
Never watched.
Are you not? You're not a game show guy?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, I love them.
Um,
Wheel of Fortune is my jam.
seriously.
Yeah, I love Wheel of Fortune.
What about it?
I like.
How do
word-
you digest all the marketing?
I like word games and word puzzles.
So do I.
And this
I.
one being formatted the way that it is, this game show, is like sitting down and letting word puzzles just appear in front of you. And it's really nice. Or if you want to watch it like a reality TV thing, you could be like, dude, Eric fucked that question up. He didn't know any of the letters. He guessed X. You don't guess X. You guess R, dude.
Right.
If you're guessing, if you're guessing
E.
X, they're gonna move on to Erica. You're not gonna keep playing. I think I used
Wow.
Eric and Erica. That's bad improv. But Wheel of Fortune is very fun for me.
Are you one of the people who, while listening to this and doing things else, elsewhere, and hearing it, do you shout back at the television
No,
the right answer?
no.
No.
I will
Sounds like you're
sometimes-
missing out.
I will sometimes say that does feel like part of the process, doesn't it?
Uh-uh.
I will sometimes say it out loud if I know it, but I won't yell it as if I'm trying to help them. I
Okay.
will like turn to
Okay.
my fiance
It's
and
not-
go, I'm pretty sure it's
Not that.
Bless the Rains Down in I'm pretty sure it's Africa by Toto. I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking for.
I'll tell you if these are good or bad.
Yeah, please. What is it? It's popcorn.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now, if it's really good, I'll lie to you. I'll
Okay.
tell you it's awful.
Cool.
It's pretty good,
Okay.
so you can have some.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, because you didn't express the terms of what would happen if you really didn't like it. Would you lie to me?
No,
or
we
not?
didn't. No, I would not lie to you because you're a dear friend.
Okay, good.
Well,
that's
I
kind.
wouldn't want you diving into a pit of ass.
Or is this merely part of the lie? Oh, no,
Why would
that is
I
very good.
lie to you?
Why would I know that?
You're smart.
I wouldn't know that.
You might not know that. I'm
You're-
smart and I don't know that.
Your reasons for lying are your own. I can't deduce what reasons you'd have for
But you
lying
have
to
to
me.
have a reason, though. Just
I don't have to
ram-
have your reason.
No, and I don't have yours.
Right.
But
We
there
have
is
each
always a
other's-
reason.
Right.
There's always a reason. I need something else to drink.
All right. Look, it's Mouse. Yeah. No, you can't have any popcorn, silly boy.
Hey,
No,
do
no.
you
no.
mind? Of course. There is no better popcorn than when you're at a fair.
Ooh, bingo. That was a
Oh.
perfect.
Well,
I wanted to ask you,
yeah.
do you like
Oh,
movie-
thank you.
do you like
Very mean of you. Extremely mean. Were you aiming for my head? Because if you would have hit it. Oh, okay.
those long clips are so 90s?
Are they really?
Yeah, we have these tiny little chip clips now. Look at Mouse hogging the camera. What a cute
Hey.
guy. He just looked straight into the camera. He turned around.
What?
I love that.
Would you? No, you can't have popcorn.
I wanted to ask, where so your favorite kind of popcorn is from the fair.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Why is
how-
that? And what fair? Give me your best
I don't
memory.
know. Well, I remember Coney Island. I always thought that was not a fair. I don't know what that is. It's a circus.
Just a festival? I don't know. Yeah, what would you call it? Yeah, I guess a circus.
Or a circus. But it's always got that absolutely fake yellow stuff
Mhm.
on it
Mm-hmm.
that we all agree to act as if it's butter.
Mm-hmm.
And there you are with the greasy hand watching something
Yeah.
really cool. Movie.
What were your
Uh-huh.
What were your least favorite? No. What were your least favorite things to eat at the fair?
At the fair, I once had a candied apple that had a worm in it.
Wow.
That's a lot of bad luck.
You know something about me? Never thought the worm in the apple thing was ever real.
Well, it's real. Worms climb into apples.
That's crazy.
Oh,
It's like quicksand. I'll probably never be near quicksand.
I hope you never. And if you,
Good night, Jackie. Thanks for being here.
thank you
Mwah.
for everything in life. Everything.
Everything
For
all the
healing
time.
me and tolerating me and, not killing me in my sleep. Thank you.
See you later. I wanted to ask you also what your earliest memory of lying is. Since we were talking about
No,
lying so
I
much.
figured out My earliest memory of lying.
Hold on, wait till you're done with the bag.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
That's kind of stupid.
I'm looking at the audio read and I'm like, that might be
Okay.
crazy loud.
My earliest memory of lying is the discovery of how important it would be in changing an event.
Mm.
Right? I was in a movie theater. I was about 9 years old, and that's when. And I was a little nerd. So
What movie?
I don't remember the movie at all, but something, 2 for 90 cents plus popcorn.
Jesus.
I swear it was great.
Imagine.
And I feel on my foot something. Pick it up, and it's a folded collection of implements. Very nice, something wonderful to find and figure out what it all is. Because 8 or 9, imagine this,
Sure.
right?
What
And
are
it had a compass in it.
Oh.
It had a scalpel in it.
Oh.
It was like a dissection kit.
What?
Swear. Okay, weird.
Those two things don't make any sense to me.
A compass and yeah. Well,
the heart is north of the kidney, I
I
guess.
don't know what this was. What kind of shit do they give you when you have to dissect a frog in school?
I've never dissected a frog, but I also don't remember compasses
Good.
being in any of the classrooms. Certainly none of the science ones.
So I picked this up and I look around, holding it up, and a guy, bigger guy, leans over the seats and says, "Hey, that's mine." What do I know? I found it on the floor.
Sure.
Right? And so he takes off. And then I thought about that.
Did you give it to him?
Yeah. He was a big kid. I was a little kid.
And you are meaning to tell me that you believe that big kid might have been lying?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he was lying.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or maybe that was just his.
Right. It's entirely possible, but it's not the way to bet.
I think you might be suggesting or betting that this person was lying to you because you really wanted that thing, and it felt like it was rightfully yours in that moment.
I did really. There's a word. There's a phrase, you may not be familiar with it. Losers weep as finders keepers.
Yeah.
Okay. I found that. Okay. So what?
So you believe in squatters' rights?
What did I learn from this? We'll get back to squatters' rights.
Sure. By all means.
Right.
What did you learn?
I learned that the moment that I found this thing and saw its value, that I should emit no behavior whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie,
Mm-hmm.
right? That I should contain my enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It's a lesson in self-control.
Yeah.
Right? And what is what? But the content of it is exactly as I say. It winds up lying about the real nature of the moment.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned about lie. How about you?
So again, that was more withholding all the truth.
Yeah. It's not a direct lie.
Yeah, you weren't actively, distracting somebody from the truth. You were just dancing around it to not give the full truth. And then it ended up you gave that kid who might have been lying to you the thing anyway. So it didn't even do you any good.
It didn't even. Well, let me say this. If I ever am walking down the street and I see a $20 bill laying on the floor, I will stand on it for probably an unusual amount of time while I assess in 360 degrees all of the possible threats.
In my mind, I'm picturing you go to pick up the $20 bill and a very wily coyote cage falls down on you, or a piano.
Could be, yeah,
a piano falls from
boom,
the top floor.
500 pound, yeah.
Right, the Acme anvil. What do you believe might happen if you don't first stand on the money you found?
I work in probabilities.
Right.
Okay. If I don't first stand on it, it might escape. So move fast.
Right.
Right? Wind.
Sure. So you don't
somebody
you don't want
just out of view running and chasing it.
Ah.
Okay, but that's aside from that kind of thing, it's
I think those are perfectly reasonable, like acceptable reasons why you would do exactly what you're doing. I was just
okay.
curious why you do it.
So now you step on this to ascertain who else wants it,
Sure.
because you're really in the jungle
Yeah.
and you want that nut, and the other guy is ready to take that nut from you, has before.
We've
Right?
all been there.
What do you do? How do you strategize this? Become aware of your surroundings,
Yeah.
first of all, which means cover the thing. I start by saying slow it all down,
Right.
right?
Yep.
I don't know if that was that an answer to your question.
I think
hope
so.
not. Oh,
I don't
God.
fully remember the question, so let's move on.
All right, he's crazy. I'm not crazy. Wait a minute. There were others. I think.
What's that top word on the right? Boxer?
Yeah, that's because I had already talked to you about. I didn't want to be redundant. Talk to you about nobody knowing about the missing verse in the box.
Oh,
We
yes,
talked
yes,
about it.
yes.
Yeah.
We did talk about it. Watch the last episode to see what
Okay.
we said about that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It's hard to see. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I wanted to ask while you're looking at those topics, when people watch our show, if people ever watch our show or feel
Ever.
the need to watch our show,
Ever? Why? You know,
what
couldn't
do you
imagine why.
what do you hope they're doing?
Um.
Oh God, I don't know where you just went, but it was instant. All right, let me ask a new question. What's the second place you hope that they are?
I hope that they are in their living rooms,
Mm,
having a martini or a joint,
sure, or
and
both.
I hope that we make them smile
Sure.
or something,
Yeah.
And what is it? What do we do here when we do it? We just talk.
What do we do? Yeah, not much. I mean, I said in the beginning, we indulge.
We indulge.
We indulge in snacks. We indulge in some
Here's
drugs
here's
and
my
good
problem.
conversation.
Here's my problem. Help me answer this.
Sure.
Why would anybody care? Why would they turn? It's like, why would they go to a game show for me? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
why would they tune into the life or lives of somebody else? That must make me sound horrible.
No, I don't think it makes
and
it
I'm
sound
not
horrible.
horrible.
I think it makes sense because
They don't know us. We don't know them.
I think this actually speaks to the generational gap between us.
Help. Then help.
I think since the internet has become what it is, youth culture has grown a fondness of the parasocial relationship,
Explain that to
which
me.
is
You're
to
right. I
say-
don't know what the hell that means.
which is to say when you form a sort of unspoken bond, sometimes spoken, but when you form a sort of bond with someone that you've never met but witness doing something.
All right.
So like a fan of anybody. You know what I mean? Like if you grew up watching Gene Wilder movies,
okay.
you are a fan of Gene Wilder. And
All right.
maybe you're watching those movies because he's in them. And maybe you want to know more about his life. So you buy his autobiography or his biography.
That sounds normal to
Right.
even my generation.
So this is
Shit.
the kind of thing. What do you need?
I was looking for tobacco and I can't seem to. Oh yes. Never mind.
Just use potato chips.
Oh no.
Don't say you haven't tried.
No, I haven't tried. I confess it.
So yeah, so this is kind of that same thing where you find a personality that you enjoy and you want to know more about them, so you seek out more information about them.
Mhm.
Instead, the information is being given to you by that person in just candid conversation. So there are, I'm going to say, millions of podcasts and interview style
I'm sure there are.
shows
Yeah.
that are exactly that. It is either the parasocial, feeding the parasocial tendency that has been grown as almost an extraneous organ in the brain
You're right.
by
I
the
don't have it.
internet.
I
Right.
don't friggin' have it.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it 100%. I love the things that I watch are very niche and
Yeah.
make me like them because of how niche they are. It's like, how do you make a friend? You find a couple specific people in your life that you found under very particular circumstances that you relate to in some very particular way,
Yes.
and
All agreed.
you keep them around.
Hmm.
With the internet, we have been given the opportunity and the ability to find those people without ever meeting them in person. Seeing, oh, this person plays guitar on TikTok, and sometimes they're
it feels like you're describing an intermediate state of relationship
yeah,
that
parasocial.
I've never understood,
Right.
or that I probably wouldn't maintain.
Probably not.
You know.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the generational gap. I
Very
think that has a lot to do with the time you grew up in and the time I grew up in. What's the Neanderthals about?
Well, I became aware. I do a lot of science reading,
Mm.
and I became aware of the discovery that the Neanderthals actually walked among Homo sapiens. They were contemporaneous, essentially, not like this, but more like this,
Mm.
which is fascinating because they're not around now. Well, that's
Right.
not true. Many people look like Cro-Magnon,
I would agree with you.
and Neanderthal, Prognathus.
I mean, even you and I.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't know.
To
You
certain-
mostly,
to certain degrees. I'll say me
you
mostly.
You look like a rabid Viking, sort
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, I mean, I think about that shit all the time, about how we're really not so different than we've ever been. There have been very small adjustments. We're still in the very beginning stages of what we
I
are.
completely agree.
And yet somehow at the end also.
Okay,
Which I think
which
is
is
our
where I was
fault.
going too. The idea of Neanderthals, I extend this because I have nothing better to do.
Yeah.
I believe, I'm going to say it, I believe that there are intermixed with us the next stage of evolution in humankind.
What do
Right,
you believe
so-
that to be?
Well, I've seen too many superhuman tricks, superhuman events,
Like what?
endeavors. I've seen a person calculate digits of pi using only his mind.
Mm.
He went all day,
Just kept going.
kept going with witnesses and calculators.
Right. To
following
follow.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one thing. There are many. I've seen, very famous one, this girl on a horse shooting a fucking bow and arrow with her
With his
feet,
feet. Yeah.
hitting the target
Yeah.
in the center.
So you think these are evolved people?
I think that there's a potential for them to be good examples of evolved.
Yeah.
I
I can't explain the pie thing, but I think learned skill can feel really alien.
learn skill. Sure.
You know what I mean? Like when we watch Billy Strings play guitar.
I swear to God,
Yeah.
that's where I was going.
Well, 100%. You've explained that to me before
Right.
about how
I think he's like next gen, baby. Whatever. that-
100%. Well, I watched an interview with him the other day. And he said he's been playing guitar, I think, since 6 or 7 years old. And his dad
Wow.
was like a proficient flat picker, like bluegrass flat picker.
So he had the benefits.
Yeah, if you have the drive to really work at it and you
Right.
start as early as you possibly can,
Then you're going to be excelled
You're
to,
gonna be
to the
super
stratosphere. Right?
human. Yeah.
He's fucking superhuman.
Right. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. And it's because he's got, I mean, he's just about my age,
Mhm.
and it's been, I guess 20, you could say 23 years that he's been doing this
And
essentially.
his repertoire is so big.
Oh,
That's what
huge.
stuns me. It's like,
Right. Right.
okay, it's funny that you should mention it. Anyway,
That's what it is. So I try to think about the things.
are you chewing on it? Please don't chew on a wire.
I try to think about the things that I have been doing for that long. Am I good at anything the way that these people are good at their learned skills?
We are not.
What do you think you're the best at? What do you have the most experience in?
The word that comes to mind after removing several.
This is a scary moment.
No, it shouldn't be. Because it's part of my ex profession.
Ah,
Decomposition.
decomposition.
That's
That's
right.
funny.
Right. You could call it, I call it that instead of analysis.
Okay, sure.
Framing hunks of reality
Yeah.
in organized ways with a strong nod toward hypertext level detail.
Yeah.
So that's why I do stupid charts like this. That's her family, her entire family.
You have a very mathematical brain, it seems.
More than usual.
Yeah, right.
Just more than usual.
So that's your
You know.
superhuman thing.
It's
That's-
not very superhuman.
Well,
Believe me.
to you, it doesn't feel that way because you're used to it. But I feel like to other people, especially me, I don't feel like I have a very mathematical brain at all. I play Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes rolling 3 dice, I have to take like 6 minutes to add all the numbers up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. No. It's like,
I don't think that way. I'm not very good at keeping a schedule. I'm getting better, but I'm learning. So like things like that organization is
Mhm.
not something that I
Mhm.
excel at. And I feel like you having the amount of experience that you do is a perfect answer to my question.
Okay.
You
Okay.
get it because you did it. For
I
that
did
long.
it a lot
You
for a
did it
lot of years.
There you go.
And other people would say, yeah, you didn't know what the fuck you're talking about. But I know for a fact
You'll always
they
have
paid me a lot of money
right
to do it.
to do it. So you got to be doing something, right?
Yeah.
Although we could also argue that there are people that get paid a lot of money for doing very much nothing at all. Why do they continue to get paid that amount of money? The world may never know.
Because they are high value. That value is the intersection of supply and demand,
Yeah.
right? That was the first thing that I learned in economics.
It's a
Whatever the
great.
hell it was, but there it is,
It's
right?
really good. Yeah, that'll
You know,
that'll stick with you.
And supply and demand, what is the graph that it looks like that it's sitting on? What does supply and demand mean?
Right.
Right? Number of something, number of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where value is only the intersection. What is the value of thing?
Mm.
It's the value at which the last thing was purchased or
Yeah,
exchanged.
basically. Yeah.
Right? So stupid, I guess.
My dad's been taking inventory basically of a collection of baseball cards
Okay.
that have been in our house for decades, and putting them up online to see what they're worth.
But
And I think it's very funny, and it's an exact example of what you're talking about.
Okay.
There's a demand for old baseball cards.
Yeah.
We have a supply of them.
Find out if there's an intersection.
Right, and some of them are valued at 30 cents, and some of them are valued at $30
I told you that I got thousands of dollars, right?
for
in
a
the
comic
past.
book collection.
For a comic book collection this big.
I mean, it's a
What is
big,
that? 5 inches?
it's a big collection,
You
and you got a lot of cool stuff in
And
there.
I had a lot of early stuff, but I think it was like $5,000.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So
and it's not unheard of. There's so many things. You go on eBay.
Mhm.
I used to go on Craigslist and sort by like the least amount of value, just to go to the free section of Craigslist
Okay.
and just see
Get
some
this
of the
off
stuff.
my hands.
Exactly, and like some of the stuff is so funny because like you'll see it and be like, somebody's giving a motorcycle away. Like this motorcycle just has like a flat tire, and they're like, this has been on my lawn in the backyard for fucking who knows how long. And like if you know how to do that kind of thing, that's a very important thing for you. You know, like if
Mm.
you're mechanically inclined, you could grab that, fix it up, and sell. You can make a couple grand
There-
on that thing that somebody just gave away to a stranger.
There are always, if you're watching,
Yeah,
right? But you need that kind of personality or that kind of manpower. Right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you're watching, there are always bargains. I mean, extreme bargains.
Right.
You know, like fuck, the things that I missed.
Like
Regrets,
what?
I have a few.
Well, go ahead.
Well, there are certain stocks that we didn't know how they were gonna.
Oh, sure.
You know, IBM. Somebody should have bought fucking Apple when it was.
Right, when it was nothing.
You know, we'd be having exactly this conversation, except in your limo or my limo.
Right.
You
With
know,
a hot tub in it. If you
I
had
like that.
if you had all the money you could possibly ever need and
Mm.
more,
Mm.
what are, I'm going to say, two luxurious items that you would get for yourself?
That is a very difficult question.
Say,
think-
suppose that all the real world worries with money are completely moot and taken care of, and you have a sensational sum left over after you took care of all your bills and your family's happy and there's charities you've donated to. You have a lot of money. What are two things that you maybe don't even fucking need that you would just have and enjoy if even once?
This reminds me of the movie Author, where at
Yes.
first where he's going into a store and he says, I hate green shirts.
Allison
I'll
loves that
take a
movie.
dozen of those.
Yeah,
You know, a
for
dozen.
sure.
No, I hate them. No. Ugh.
I love that.
He's-
That kind of money is so
yeah, so-
stupid to me.
Yeah, well,
It's so funny
it does
sounding.
exist. It
Of
does
course it
exist.
does. And if it existed for you, what would you
To
spend it
answer
on?
to answer your question, there aren't any luxury items that are beamed at me that I crave.
Shopping mall for me.
I love Lewis Black's answer to that.
What's the answer?
His answer was, I would have, I would have my own personal ball washer.
There are people in the world
Right? He
that
said,
are never too far away that you don't have to pay that much to do
I imagine.
that kind of thing.
He said I'd give them a good salary,
Right?
right?
I mean, that
was their
if we're
job.
talking about having a lot of money and paying someone to do
Yeah,
that, that's
so-
a good job.
There you go. I guess so. I wouldn't know.
That actually is a great next question. Well, did you have an answer to that?
No. I seem to be undersupplied with cravings for stuff.
Very Buddhist of you.
I do have a lot of stuff. I have a house.
You have a decent amount of stuff.
I have stuff. I have average stuff, but it's stuff.
I was going to say it is pretty average
It is
stuff.
like a thing, yeah.
I don't think you have an excess of that much.
I have plants.
A
I
lot of
have
plants,
a lamp.
but that's okay. Things
You
that you
know.
take care of. I don't
Well,
know.
So that's why I can't give you a.
You live a pretty
Okay.
minimalist life.
Did we ever talk about my list, my early list?
I don't know.
Okay. I had a brief aside.
Okay.
I had at some point made a list of what I need to be happy.
Oh,
Right? This is decades ago,
yeah.
actually, and I gave it enough thought so that I even remember writing it down, although I've lost track of the specifics of it.
Mhm.
I don't have to listen to it. But then when I finally looked at the list, what I found was that none of it seemed to have anything to do with money or stuff. I didn't like name some, or
Well,
I didn't.
What were some of the things then?
I can tell you. That's easy.
Do you have the list like on your phone or something? Or
No, I don't have the list
oh, you
anymore.
said decades ago,
Decades ago.
but you remember some of it.
Wait a minute.
Do
He's
you think?
my friend and nephew is. Oh, he is saying I am messaging the chat room. Nobody is answering. Answer that. Don't ignore me. So, do we have a chat room person?
We do. I just noticed. Yes,
Okay.
Boston fan.
We're still a
87.
work in progress. Remember that.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't get any notification that we got a chat.
That's stupid.
Boston fan
What would a
87
ding cost you?
says, "Hi, mouse," and then what's behind that garage door?
Oh,
Maybe in the way that we're talking about you having an excess of stuff. You have a lot of wood
I have a lot of wood, but
and
then
tools.
then again, I'm a woodworker.
Right. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
you have an excess of stuff that would qualify you as a hoarder or
Thank
anything like that.
God. Wait,
Like that,
oh,
that is an
which just
excess.
reminds me of something.
Tell me about it.
You said in like either last episode or the episode before it,
Yeah.
Jackie made fun of me about
Mhm.
this. I said to her, "Wait a minute. He called me a hobby hoarder."
You
And-
are. Yes.
Yeah, and I did, and I took umbrage to it
Why?
afterward. I don't know. I don't know.
'Cause it took
Mostly
you-
because I didn't understand what it was. Hobby hoarder. You're
You
a
didn't
hobby
seem
hoarder.
to not get it at the time.
That's. I was stunned by it. It was like, fuck. What
That's
is
awesome.
that? You know.
That rules. Yeah, you are, man.
Okay.
But you,
what-
it's not a material thing that you're collecting. You do a lot of shit. You're interested in doing a lot of stuff, and you do it all
I do it all.
frequently.
Yes. Too frequently. Okay. The list.
Yeah, yeah.
It had on it that I needed to laugh.
Oh, good.
Every day.
That's beautiful.
Right. Now, mindful of the fact that you don't get these things every day.
No, a day without a laugh is tough.
Really tough. I needed setting aside my bio to, physiological homeostasis.
Yeah.
We all need to pee and fart
Right.
and all of that crap. I needed to laugh. I needed a hug. I needed to have something that I felt that I should be doing.
Mm.
Right?
That
Objective.
kind of that
An
motivation.
objective, that there was a direction, that
Yeah.
there was an internal compass that was pointing me
Mm.
to do something. Right? I needed also now it gets a little blurry because, as I said, did I mention decades?
I mean, those are fantastic examples. It's great. So nothing material was featured on the list.
Well, to my amazement,
and if
I
it
do-
was, it's not one of the top 3.
I do not crave a fancy ass watch.
Sure.
I would not know what to do with a fancy ass car. I'm
Right.
just not in the car culture. It didn't get glued to my personality.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck about cars.
Right. I
whatsoever.
totally get
I
it.
wish I was more of a guy about that, but I'm
I mean, I'm totally with you in
Right.
like I don't need anything too fancy,
not.
and I certainly, if given the option, will not feel the need to pay through the nose for anything that I would like to indulge in.
If I had enough money so that I truly felt truly safe,
Yeah.
right, then I would feel guilty not dedicating the rest of it to trying to fix the fucking world.
I don't know.
If that means, if that means having to be an evil guy to remove the evil,
In what way would you consider yourself to be an evil guy in that scenario?
well, evil is only judged by the outside world.
Mm.
You can do a thing and other people would say that that's evil, and you would feel perfectly morally comfortable
Right.
about doing it. I can think of scenarios if you want details, but read my book.
Well, that's funny enough.
Are we?
We're like 2 hours deep into a
Oh,
show.
come on!
man.
You shitting me?
No, I'm kidding. It's only been an hour.
Okay. I just don't want to. don't want to wear you out.
No. We started at 9:30. It's 10:30 now.
Okay.
So we're
I'm
cool.
gonna pluck something else off of here.
Pluck one more thing off of there, and then
Yeah.
we'll freaking
Okay, well-
scoot, man.
In jail, but that's a physics thing.
What in jail? What does that mean?
Okay, well,
Is that a long
I
topic?
wanted to share my horror at the realization with you. If you don't know it already, like the universe is really big.
Yeah.
You know that part.
Yeah.
And there are limits to the physical relationships, like E equals MC squared, right?
Is the universe that big, really?
It is.
Or is that
It
marketing?
is. No. It's
Because
that
how do we
big.
know? How do we
It's-
know? How do you know?
because we have means for measuring things like velocity, distance, duration.
I don't
That's
have
how
that
it-
stuff.
Well, I'm sorry. I can give you private classes. But I didn't think that's where we were going.
I'm
but
just saying, how far up there have you gone?
me, not for the Empire State Building.
Right. I mean, that's pretty high up,
Still in all. Yes, it is.
but
Drop-
it's not
you
up
can
there.
kill a person with a penny from the Empire State Building.
All I'm saying is, how do you know that the world actually goes higher than that?
You know, when I was like in my 5th grade, we were assigned to write stories, and somebody wrote a story about, and I'm talking 5th grade or 4th grade,
Yeah.
about how, they went up there and they wound up hitting the painted canvas.
Yeah. Very Truman Show.
Yeah,
Feels like, yeah.
right. The reality,
The skybox.
the true reality versus the perceived,
Mhm.
and it's scary. So
Yeah.
you're saying the same thing.
What
from
what
my
do you think about the moon landing?
What moon landing? I don't watch any news. I swear to God, I don't watch any news. What are you talking about?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea what
This
I-
happened in the
oh my-
60s.
Yes, we have landed on the moon.
You think we really did?
Oh, I've seen all of that shit.
Do you really think we did?
I think that we did.
Okay.
I think that we did.
Because I
and-
didn't.
Well, okay.
You didn't. Were you there?
I was
You were
alive.
around. You were
and
around.
I was alive and conscious
But
and
did
breathing.
did you get on the moon?
Did I? I'm sorry. say
Did you
again?
get to the moon? Did you go on the moon?
Oh no, I didn't get. No, hell no. Nobody gets to go to the moon.
So how did we do it?
Pouring money into technology of the time to convey our asses to a place where we get to say, "Oh, we're here,"
And now we're here.
and now we're leaving because there doesn't seem to be any immediate money in it. That's what happened. Why don't you? Do you see a whole bunch of people trying to colonize the moon now?
No. But
and
I
you
do.
fucking won't because
I-
there's nothing there.
I do see a lot of people lying about what they're doing to make money. What if NASA is just a bunch of hooey baloney, and they're like, "Hey, look, we can go to the moon if you give us a bunch of money."
then I would say that they're one of many very successful deceptions that we have to pay in order to live. Because we have not broken them.
I'd like you to know that I don't believe anything that I'm saying.
I know you're not a conspiracist.
Yeah. It's true.
No, I know that. But it's okay. It's sometimes even fun
It is fun.
to play the crazy part.
Yeah.
I don't know if I get to play the crazy part.
It is really funny to do that sometimes. And it's such a radio thing too. They tell you to if you have an opinion, drive that opinion into hell. Like, don't let anyone, when you're on the radio with them, don't let anyone change your opinion. If you say something and then you're corrected, double down. Just
this is
go
it. What is
for
it?
it.
Republican philosophy?
yeah. It's like an entertainment philosophy. Like in the
Jesus.
way in the way that if you have like a controversial opinion about something that doesn't really matter and somebody goes, "No, I think you're wrong about that." Double down even if you agree that you're wrong about it. Like if I were to say, "No, I don't believe in the moon landing."
This sounds like
I don't think Walt Disney's
It's-
actually dead.
it's a philosophy. Yeah, exactly. It's we still have his head.
Right.
right? And it's perfectly, it's near Kelvin, near
Yeah, yeah,
zero
yeah.
Kelvin.
Right. And then somebody calls you out and goes, no, 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 like they
Wow.
saw his dead body. Double down and be like, no, dude, that's not a real
No,
dead
no, it's
body.
a hologram.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
you know about holograms? Let me
Right,
explain holograms to
exactly.
you. Would you like me to send you a hologram? Okay.
It's just
You
weird.
really should be more on top of your shit, dude.
It's just weird that
Oh,
Walt Disney would just suddenly die and like in a company that's so good at making animatronic things. Stuff like that. I love doubling down on shit that is so obviously wrong. I think it's really cool and fun.
Oh wait, we were going somewhere with this though, or maybe we weren't.
Go
I don't
ahead.
know. No, I was trying to retrieve a line of thought. Oh, so in jail simply means that, given the laws of physics that exist as I understand them now, and the size of the universe, we are never fucking going to get anywhere. We are effectively in jail. We
I
are
see.
in jail. If there was a God, if there is a God, he has safely put us in jail for fear that we would harm the rest of the universe.
Mm.
And that's that. That was that point.
Well, damn, there you go.
Oh, and here's a question. It says yin and
Yin and
something
yang, yeah.
yeah. This. Here,
Your
question.
doohickey there.
I do hick. This
Yeah.
is a symbol I've worn for a long time.
That's beautiful.
It's
I love that.
yin
Thing.
and yang,
Yeah.
But it symbolizes to me something. The question is this cultural appropriation?
We talked about this
Did we?
after the show
After the show.
last time.
Right.
Is that cultural appropriation?
Yeah.
And I said, I don't think it is because you are celebrating what it means to the culture that it comes from.
That's nice. That's well said.
I think that's true.
You must have said that.
I think that's what it is. Because appropriation, to me, the way that I understand cultural appropriation, which is a mouthful.
It is by itself.
Yeah.
It's going to have a short half-life, I think.
The way that I understand it is it's like touting around a symbol that does not come from your culture and giving it a meaning that it doesn't have because you are ignorant to its origin.
All right. Bo Derek, do you know who she is?
No.
No. This is what I have to contend with.
Confidently, no, I do not.
No. Bo Derek was a famous blonde, slinky model who was famous in a movie called 10.
Okay.
And was it Dudley Moore? I don't remember who it was. But basically, she was the height of American beautifulness. Right?
Got it.
She had cornrows or something like that.
Okay. I believe they're called I hate to correct people. I believe they're called corn rows.
Cornrows, yeah.
Yeah, because
it shows how much my awareness of.
I think it's literally because they resemble rows of corn.
Yeah, they do.
On the head.
No.
I think, but I could be wrong about that.
I come from a generation where nobody gave a shit about that.
I really
Very
don't.
Few.
I don't even necessarily care. I just think that's what it is.
Yeah,
and it almost presents itself to me more as a fun fact than a reality we have to abide by.
Yeah. So, I mean, why? It actually came to me when I heard this phrase first time, cultural appropriation. And I thought about, who gives a shit? I couldn't. That's what.
Now, is the reason why you bring this up is because it was a person with cornrows that wouldn't particularly have cornrows?
No, but that turned out to be yet another example aimed at me by the media as an example of cultural appropriation.
Okay.
So some wearing a full mariachi thing when you don't
belong to that culture necessarily, right? Right.
But I've heard amazing things. I've heard of people saying they would expect this to have been received as cultural appropriation, and it turned out to be, love it.
Sure.
By the recipient, by the.
It kind of depends on when this happened and what the context of what was happening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like the way that perspective from culture has changed over the years.
I ask you a permission.
Okay.
Can we permanently remove that phrase from the books?
Cultural appropriation?
Yes.
I am not in charge of that.
Shit.
You and I can stop treating it as such
As
a
a
thing.
thing. As a thing. No, I would
But-
like it erased completely.
I would like
We can't
it.
do that yet? Shit.
I
Yeah.
think the reason I think there is a reason why it is a thing.
Probably. I just
In-
clearly
in-
do not understand it as well as I should.
And I think that's okay. I think it's very much like the parasocial relationship thing. I think it's something that you've never experienced
Mhm.
and it doesn't concern you. Therefore, it could exist or not, and you don't have to care. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way about like when I hear older people talk about transsexual people or
What do they usually say? You have
if
any-
I hear somebody say, I don't get why they got to go by non-binary, they, them. I don't get it. I think, and I've even said to certain people before that I'm close enough with, and I feel it's appropriate for me to comment on. You know, it doesn't directly concern you. So whether you understand it or not doesn't matter. You just need to know that it's there. It's good to just know that it's there, and it's something that you have to at least be okay with being there because it's not harming anybody.
Okay. But you just triggered a memory of yet another one on my list.
Let's hear it.
Learn something every day.
Learn something every day, which is exactly what I forgot I wanted to end the show with. And I think
Good.
there's no better time to end the show than a half hour after we planned to. What have you learned recently?
Just now I learned stuff.
Great. And what was it that you learned? Give me a
Oh, I
synopsis.
cannot do that right now.
Okay.
Because I mean, I probably could if I really forced myself, but I don't want to force myself.
And that's okay
Wait.
because it's all about
We're talking about cultural appropriation
we're talking
And-
about yeah,
and the things leading from that.
right.
See, I was listening.
Oh yeah.
And before that, we were talking about being in jail
And sitar music.
and sitar music.
Some long time ago.
You know, yeah, we're done, right? Are we done?
I mean, you learned something today, but you don't want to talk about it. And I'm trying to think of what I learned this week. What have I learned? I learned that, or am maybe beginning to come to terms with the idea that even if you feel like you're not doing enough, you still deserve time to relax.
That's a powerful meme. I
Yeah.
used to have this cartoon. I'm sure I described this to you. It was just two shots, right? One shot was a guy over a lamp with a bill down, doing
Right.
something on it registered, and it said "useful lives." And the next one was a guy on the beach, right, enjoying the sun, and it said "wasted lives."
Yeah.
You know, and the absurdity of that stuck with me forever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, we deserve. We don't have to be bashing our heads against the wall. As I was talking a minute ago, as I was trying to answer your question, what did
Yeah.
I learn? I realized that what I call learning is minute facts or results of things that I've found, and that's not. This week, I learned that there is hope for the resolution of Einstein's relativity theory with I'm coming. How embarrassing. The
No,
second
it
word is mechanics.
Quantum.
Quantum mechanics. With quantum mechanics, which deals with observations, very cool, very cool. Observations at a very small level, right?
Yeah.
Relativity fucking out there as far as you can get, and you know, dense gravity being dense in the space-time net and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
Quantum level being old, and the math does not jive.
Yeah.
But now there's some theory that is coming about that
Connects everything?
that will bring those two observables but irresolvables
Huh.
together. I think
Okay.
I said that pretty
So
reasonably.
an even further step on something that has already changed the way that we view science
Absolutely.
for a long time.
Absolutely.
An even more progressive step forward.
Or just a another chain of mathematics to be explored that lets us believe what's possible.
Cool.
What's possible.
And I think we both kind of let ourselves learn something like that
Yeah,
this week.
come
then.
on.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. I learned this week, plus the week before, because it's not that easy. I learned about time dilation.
Yes.
And I think I started to tell you about
You
that.
did.
I now understand it, at least mathematically. I can show,
That's cool.
and that's a good piece of learning.
Yeah. That's
right?
crazy.
So that's the kind of thing. I was looking for something more soul searching when confronted with the question, "What did you learn?"
No, just
No.
any information that was new to you
No,
in
that's all-
recent time.
That's all pretty new
Yeah.
and not tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm learning to relax,
Mm,
and you're learning expansion.
I'm
almost.
learning what's out there.
Learning what's out there.
What's out there. The most painful thing that I did cumulatively was simply work,
Mhm.
right? But you don't know because you're doing it every day, and
Right.
you don't know how much that controls your life.
Mhm.
And then I retired, and I discovered now. Wait a minute, you mean I can follow that if I want,
Yeah.
or that? This
Well,
is
that's
where we
why
come. Then yeah.
You're a hoarder of hobbies because you've got all this time now that you've never had to pursue these things. And now here you are, and why not pursue all of them at the same time?
Okay. Sort of. Is it
Sound
that bad?
familiar?
Is it that bad?
I mean,
Is it that bad?
I think bad is based on how you take it. You seem fine.
Okay.
After all the hobbies, all right, maybe I'll retract that. But
Okay.
after all the hobbies that you've undertaken and do every day and all the charts and lists and blah blah blah, you still make time to do this, which is not much.
Not much.
You sit down, you smoke some weed, you drink a little water, you have a little snack, and you talk with a friend of yours. And that's cool. And I hope that if nothing else,
Are we reversed? You see,
we
we're
are.
reversed.
Yeah, I know.
That's terrible. I just realized this technological.
Listen, I ran out of time and I didn't feel like fixing
You're not going
it.
to get a raise this
I
way.
don't care. Pay me less. I think that's what I'm trying to elicit in whoever
I point
decides.
this way.
Point that way then.
Yes, in order to point at you, I have to do
No,
that.
the other way.
No.
You gotta point away from me.
I'm pointing at you now.
No, I know, but
No,
on the
I'm not.
screen,
It
you gotta
doesn't-
point at me this way.
Shit, forget it. I give up.
I think that's the feeling I'm trying to elicit in whoever decides to watch.
I think I broke with reality there for a moment. And I'm like, I have to reintegrate my molecules.
Did
or
you
something.
Did you have
I
to
could not
find
fucking,
yourself?
it was like I walked into a mirrored room. What was that? I hate this. I hate this. I point up, it points down.
You don't have
I
to
point
look.
left. Listen, look.
Yeah.
I'm using my right arm. Why is it pointing that way? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't, man.
It's,
And that's what we're trying to say. It just doesn't matter. Watch or don't. And
No, don't fuck him. He's wrong. Watch. Okay, you'll learn a lot. Of course, first, I know a lot.
Yeah.
I can, and I love an audience.
And I
No.
learn a lot from him. So
Oh.
you can learn too.
One last thing.
Let's hear it.
There's an inordinate increase in the number of brassiere commercials on television. Am I the only one who has noticed this?
Good night, everybody.